There are moments in life that divide everything into two parts, before and after. For me, that moment began on a quiet Saturday evening. I wasn't looking for adventure. I had simply gone for a walk through the old forest behind my grandfather's abandoned farmhouse. It was a place I'd visited as a child, but after his death, no one had gone there for years. The forest felt different that day. There were no birds singing, no insects buzzing, just silence. As I walked deeper, something caught my eye. Half buried beneath the roots of a giant oak tree was an old wooden box. It looked ancient. The wood was cracked, covered in moss, and wrapped in rusted iron bands. There was no lock, just a strange symbol carved into the lid. Every instinct told me to leave it alone. But curiosity is stronger than fear. I knelt down, brushed away the dirt, and lifted the lid. The moment it opened, a freezing wind rushed past me. The trees began shaking violently. And then, everything went completely silent. I should have walked away. Instead, I looked inside. The box was almost empty. Inside was a faded photograph, a small brass key, and an old pocket watch that had stopped exactly at 3:17. The photograph showed 5 people standing in front of my grandfather's farmhouse. 4 of them were strangers. The 5th one was me. Not someone who looked like me. It was me. Same face. Same scar on my eyebrow. Even the same jacket I had been wearing that day. My hand started shaking. The photograph had yellowed with age. It had to be at least 50 years old. That was impossible. I hadn't even been born. Thinking someone was playing a prank, I turned the photo over. Written on the back, in faded ink, were 6 words. Don't let him open the box. A cold chill ran down my spine. I looked around. Someone was standing between the trees, watching me. The moment our eyes met, he disappeared. I ran back to the farmhouse as fast as I could. Inside, everything was covered in dust. While searching through my grandfather's old belongings, I found his journal hidden beneath loose floorboards. The final pages mentioned the box. He wrote that every 50 years, someone in our family would find it. He called it the Box of Time. According to the journal, opening it allowed the past and future to overlap. People would begin seeing moments that hadn't happened yet, and memories that never belonged to them. Then I found the final sentence. It wasn't finished. The ink suddenly stopped, as if he'd dropped the pen. It read, "If you're reading this, he's already. Nothing more." That's when I heard footsteps upstairs. Slow. Heavy. Someone was walking inside the house. I was completely alone. Or at least, I thought I was. The footsteps stopped outside the bedroom. I could hear breathing. Slow. Calm. Waiting. I grabbed an old flashlight and slowly opened the door. The hallway was empty. But at the end of it, a mirror reflected someone standing behind me. I spun around. Nothing. When I looked back into the mirror, he was closer. His face looked exactly like mine. Only older. Much older. His eyes were filled with fear. He whispered only one sentence. "Close the box before midnight." Then the mirror shattered. Without thinking, I grabbed the box and the brass key. The old pocket watch suddenly started ticking again. It read 11:58 p.m. I had 2 minutes. I ran back into the forest. The wind screamed through the trees. The ground shook beneath my feet. When I reached the oak tree, the box began glowing. The key fit perfectly. I hesitated. If I closed the box, would everything return to normal? Or would I erase myself from existence? The watch struck midnight. I turned the key. The forest exploded with blinding white light. When I opened my eyes, morning sunlight shone through the trees. The box was gone. The photograph had disappeared. The journal no longer mentioned it. It was as if none of it had ever happened. I convinced myself it had all been a nightmare. Until months later, while cleaning my house, I found an old photograph inside a drawer. 5 people stood in front of my grandfather's farmhouse. 4 were strangers. The 5th was me. On the back were 6 words written in faded ink. Don't let him open the box. That's when I realized something that still keeps me awake at night. I wasn't the first person to find the box. And I won't be the last.